in, and I'm like, okay, I'm here. And then I hear Dylan talking about like, we'll see if Ezra can hop on. I'm like, okay, total noob move. At least we got the audio problems taken out on me, so that our guest has a nice, comfortable intro. We're super stoked to be here, of course, with the Tokensmart fam for our Wippy event. We've got a great little session planned. Vincent Vegarces, an amazing author, is going to be sharing some of his work, and a very interesting style of releasing that work. So super excited about that. We're going to have a little pass the pen session, time permitting. We'll see. So we might get a little hop into pass the pen and kind of touch up on that. And then we always also have our pass the pen Friday in the Wippy Discord at 1 p.m. Pacific. And then we have a very exciting announcement from Andy as well. So great show today we have planned for you, and let's kick it off. Let's see.
All right. Yeah, let's get this bad boy started. Okay, so our special guest of the day is Mr. Vincent Garces of Spain.
Hello.
Let's give it up for is it Dr. Garces? Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you're a professor as well, right?
Yes. First, thank you, everyone. Congratulations to the community. You are doing an extraordinary project and work. I am in Spain now. It's the magic of technology, like always. Sorry about my English because my natural language is Spanish. But I think with the art, with the creation, it's a universal language, so we could understand. So it's a pleasure to be in with you, and I hope we start today a way of co-creation and share knowledge. That is my passion, and that is why I'm here.
Absolutely. Well, it is so good to have you on the show today, because I mean, it's just really I don't know. I think it's very, very important that people start to sort of codify some of the values that we see in the NFT and DAO spaces. And to me, it looks like you are an expert in the field. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself, just more generally, and perhaps if you have time, you could also throw in just a few words about what it was that attracted you to this field of study as well.
Yeah, thank you. Not at all. I am not an expert in nothing. I am absolutely learning every day. But my background with technology starts in the beginning of the century. I was working in the technology industry, trying to open the TLD, the top level domains of internet for the people, and that's was my first approach to the decentralization of structures in the organizational world. My business, I am a strategy consultant, focused in people-centered change, and professor. I'm professor in different universities here in Spain, and I work with Latin American leaders too. And I did works in the public sector for the government to open democracy, works in transparency, and in the private sector, I work with companies to develop the systems of control systems and strategy systems to empower the workers in the day-to-day work. This is my fundamental approach. I have a firm of strategy. It's called Vega, like the star, and this is for 15 years. I am the director of that firm. And since I was a child, I have a creative competence. I play music. I was a professional DJ here in Spain. for discos, and I'm producer of music, theater. I write theater, I direct theater, and in my one of my hobbies is writing things. I write in newspapers here in Spain about political things in more serious approach. And since 2 years ago, I start to write the MFT we present today. It's Man in the Mirror. The idea of the project is like helping with a different style of text and design to open the critical thinking, open reflections to to the reader to think and to discuss. I love to discuss. I love to be connected. In every NFIT we present today, it's my email. It's my always. I spoke about connectivity and the evolution of the communication to the connectivity that we are doing today. We do with the blockchain, but I am elder maybe than you. I am 44, 44 years old, but I start with that idea since I was 20 years old. The idea
Oh,
of
that's
the
fantastic.
NFIT, yeah, sorry.
No, please continue. It's lovely to have such a well qualified and successful author on this show.
Not
Everybody,
at
I'm
all.
very
Yeah,
and
no,
one
with
humble too.
I've got to say, with this background, we are just so blessed to have you join our community here, both at Wipp and Tokensmart. I'm really excited. Love your ethos and your background, and yeah, just please give us more. Tell us more about what you got going on.
The pleasure is for me because I am 44, but I have the same dreams since I was a child, and it's to share knowledge, because knowledge for me is freedom. And every point of
Man, I
view,
couldn't have said it better myself. I think
Yeah.
that just lines up so perfectly with what we're trying to do here at
Easy is a
WIPP
very.
and also at the LibraNet as well.
I wouldn't say that you're
yeah.
so
So
old,
that's my plan.
Vincent. Yeah.
No, and
Easy's
I
like
found you in
Easy's like, I think Easy's a very similar age.
Oh, sure. Just dox me. What am I, like 50 over here?
At least 65.
No,
At least
Easy,
65. He's
that's not
retired.
what- Easy's 65.
No, we are.
Doesn't sound it at all.
We are pretty close in age, you and me, Vincent. So I always tell people that the number of years, they help in some of our experience, but really just being true to yourself, kind of keeping young at heart, that childish imagination and creativity kind of keeps us young, I feel.
Yeah, and I have a master. I have really good professors and masters in my life. Nowadays, I am professor, and since 20 years ago, I started to speak in public in Spanish. In Spanish, never in English. I only speak. It's not my language. Okay, but what I want to say is that there are two different of intelligence in the human. You are divergence or convergence, and this is inside you. When you have a creativity, convergence is that you only think in one idea and you start to develop. Or when you have intelligence of divergence intelligence, you are only growing and opening it to new fields and always being in the attitude of learning. This is my way. My way is in an infinite cosmos. Every point is the center. It's one of my sentences I wrote 2 weeks ago, or something like that. So if we live in a net, in a real net, every point is the center. So I am always learning and trying to do new things, and never give up the child I was. That is maybe the title of the MFTs we present today. It's Man in the Mirror. The answer is you. You are the man in the mirror. So you only want to change. The change is in you. So this is the idea, and this is why my MFTs have the same title. Every MFT has 25 different ideas in every one. So it's 75 different reflections in the 3 books. But all is the same. It's the answer is you. You are the man in the mirror.
That's fantastic. And
these
there's
are such
a revolutionary thing that's being done today, which is that this book is being dropped not only in English, which is, you know, my first language, but, you know, Spanish as well, which is my second language, and I believe Easy's second language. And David from our team is actually, Español es la lengua primera. So it's David's first language, and it's really cool to me because I actually used to study philosophy of language, or still do, I guess, to some extent. And so in my background, I think there's a bunch of different stuff academically, like for example, the number of languages that a book translates into during its lifetime, it, you know, is some bearing on the success of the work. And I just think it's so cool that we're starting to see WIPP able to, you know, not only start in the vein of diversity among the languages that are supported here, but also kind of follow through with that and continue to generate interest among, you know, writers from you know, just all different places around the world and all different languages around the world. And I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it blows me away, man.
It's a huge part of our mission, really, to try and be super inclusive and bring in that diversity, because in the established publishing, it's a lot harder for people to, you know, break in. Of course, there's books in many languages and stuff, but we want to make the blockchain NFT book space even more diverse. And I know that there's a huge interest in community growing in, you know, the Spanish and the Latin American countries. And so it's very exciting to be, you know, kind of on the leading edge and being able to get an NFT book out there in both Spanish and English. And I think it's a great, you know, a great first that we'll have many more of.
Both as well. Can I just say that going back to perhaps the content of your book, Vincent, I think the concepts you laid out in just a few seconds are so important, especially when you talk about critical thinking. I'm a big fan of like creating good conceptual frameworks, and I often take them home with me without realizing. When you say convergent and divergent thinking, it automatically gives me like a new way to read the map, and as well as the every point in the cosmos is the center, like, you know, bugs on a balloon, and that's actually physically accurate as well. That's a very, you know, it's a very important thing to be able to sort of perhaps prioritize a subjective thinking as just as important as objective thinking, and how we understand ourselves as just as crucial to how we live as perhaps something more empirical, if you understand that. So like, it's fantastic. You know, it's fantastic to have those sorts of things laid out for us.
Thank you. The difficult for me, there's a universal language that is love. Love is for me. You read the books, you could find love. The smile. The smile is the universal language. But as creator, the difficult for me is that I want to open a deep reflection. But nowadays, it's very difficult. People are slaves of time. We don't have time. I study philosophy. I like to read books, but it's only me. If you want to open minds or facilitate the ideas to others, you must change the style that you communicate. So the difficult, and I am not the one who must say if I did it or not, is the reader. My idea was with a little text, easy reading, open a deep discussion, open deep thinking, because everyone now we have the information, but maybe we need the topics, the strategic topics of change or in organizational behaviors that I spoke in my books. I spoke about the evolution of power in the world. I spoke about the end of communication and the start of connectivity in the human relationships. I tried to open a debate about biotechnology. It's had very different topics, but I think the information you could find it in other. What my intention is open that that file, that idea in your brain, and giving the first steps to develop.
I find it so fascinating that there have been a couple of people who have come on the Tokensmart show who have an interest in mysticism and language. I mean, me and Dylan have both written philosophy texts pretty much exclusively about that. To hear other people's different ideas and different ways of thinking about it just broadens you. I think it's absolutely important. I think you definitely agree, Dylan, that that having that as such a sort of thing that comes to our table, always in completely different forms, is so enriching.
I would certainly agree with that, Jim. In fact, yeah, I mean,
Mm.
look, the thing is that language is not the world, right? So this, sort of competitive inhibition that we experience when we try to state the truth of the matter regarding a given issue, you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for it. It doesn't have to be as competitive as people make it out to be. I think if you view it from a macro level, pretty much everything that happens is, to one extent or another, valid, even if only via the consequences of whatever it is that takes place. And yeah, I mean, I think it's really important that we as human beings learn how to think this way, because this way of thinking does more than just open our minds and make us better thinkers. It also makes us better people. It makes us better at engaging in cooperative, massive, technological enterprises with other folks. And so looking at Dr. Garces's book, I've been very impressed. Everybody, the layout on this thing is impeccable. It's just beautiful. And I just, anyway, I'm trying to get it minted right now, but my internet is actually down at the apartment. So here in the next 10 minutes, the internet guy is supposed to come install like a new modem for me, and that should get me minting. And I can't wait. I can't wait to get this out there, because this is going to be a big success. You guys are going to love this book. Like,
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fingers crossed you can get it minted before 7:30. It'd be lovely for us to see it in its beauty. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Pretty amazing that in the where we are with technology, that we can be basically like talking here on the show. We get the files in, and it's like live mint while we're on air. I mean, pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
that is
minting right to your door.
I'm a little worried that it won't happen. So be careful, guys.
Well, I mean, the process is being started. So even being able to get that done in a 24-hour window, like publishing before was nothing like this. You could, there's no way you could connect with some people and like a few days later be on the air with them and having your book literally be minted onto the blockchain. It's still phenomenal, whether it actually happens during show hours or not. It's still just an incredible technology that we have at our fingertips and in front of our eyeballs. And it's just so exciting to be here with you all, and especially Vincent. I'm super hyped on his project and having him now part of the family.
I think we were talking.
Thank you very much, and me too. Speaking about the content, you have the index, and you can see the 25 different topics that maybe are 1 page, 2 pages. That is the text, but we are going to publish the M51, the M52, and the M53. in the MFT one, you have an extra content. You could find a link with a little conference or intervention that I did in the Palace of the Queen of England, speaking about noosphere, the evolution of my philosophical idea of the evolution of the biosphere. Noosphere is the knowledge, you could say, the only press in the link, and it's only 2 minutes, and you could see me in England speaking about that. In the second MFT, you could find music that I prepare to develop my ideas. So it's a text and a link. It's for YouTube, and you could find my approach to music, to trying to communicate in another perspective the same concept. So every
You find that
MFT,
link.
yeah, the links are in the music symbol. In the pages, you push, and they open a song that I produce and compose. And so what I try to do is something dynamic, something more than scan a book. Trying. It's my plan. I am only one. I am not nothing special, but in my approach to creation, I try to give to the reader more experience about the concept. And my dream is coming true. My dream is being in a community like you and the people who are listening now, to share knowledge. What do you think about it? I always learn with your opinion, and with your opinion and my opinion, we co-create. And when we co-create something, that thing engage. That thing comes better. If someone tells to you what to do, it's not the same, but if we do together. So my idea is horizontal. It's open a topic for making develop that. And why not bright you? All my friends, all the people I know, I always trying to break their chains to creation. I think everyone can write. I see you have activity here, then open pen and things like that. This is fantastic. This is the way for really making another ways to share knowledge. Because I love technology, but I prefer persons. And for me, the net could be evolution of knowledge, or they can. If you are down to the net attracts you. The net goes down to you. If you are up the net is helps you to jump. So the position of the person is very important. We are giving the knowledge to the machine, or we use the machine to share and develop our knowledge.
That's right.
That's for me the point. So that is what I love, co-creation, and for me, being in that community.
Philosophical thought on this. There's a concept that comes to us from psychology, and the concept is novelty. And so when we as human beings experience something we haven't experienced before, it can be disconcerting. It can be painful. There's a line in a Rancid song that I actually really love. The concept is simple. It's I learned something. That's why I'm pissed off. and you know, I mean, so many times. I mean, we just go through these emotions, and we have these experiences when we learn something new, and when we co-create. And you can take this actually a remove further, and actually have studied Alzheimer's disease because I just study everything. I'm a huge nerd. I can't help it. But the thing is that there is a metabolic component to Alzheimer's disease. And I have a hunch. You can't call it a theory, right? Because it's definitely not. It is.
I absolutely agree.
Did we lose you, Dylan?
Novelty,
I think we lost.
novelty is hypometabolism in the brain.
Oh, this sounds so
Gary doesn't
interesting.
understand, y'all.
You were,
Yeah, what would you think about that, Dr. Garces? I mean,
Yeah.
is it like would that be something that would seem intuitively on the money from your standpoint here? Like, do you think that taking part in these processes that make us better, more creative people also makes our bodies healthier? Would you care to speak to that at all?
Can you repeat?
very interesting. So I
I
think
think I know exactly what Dylan means. I know exactly what Dylan means. What he means is that we the human thinking and human thinking and thought and the way that we experience the world even rationally is determined by our metabolic, as in our body and perhaps from our stomach, our gut bacteria, to our hormones. And I think and I think Dylan's hunch is that novelty as well as all these other psychological processes are very codependent with these things. And I think
they have to be related to metabolism. They just straight up have to be. There's no way to have a biological phenomenon that could be experienced by a subject in which there's no metaphysical, or excuse me, I meant to say metabolic relationship to that metaphysical experience, so to speak.
metaphysical metabolism, right?
This sounds a lot like what Gath says is actually meaning, because I mean, just to pick up some things that you said, Vincent, about communicating with music. You feel it in your body with music. It's not just a thinky thing. It's like, it works with your body, and love as well. Smiling, and these things are all connected. I think when we're talking about connectivity rather than communication, I think Gath says is very much pointing to this kind of somatic communication, bodily communication as just as important. I would argue more important than the kind of the surface layer rational lingual thoughts, and even love as well.
Abstract.
Yes,
the abstract.
That is the point.
Related.
That's the point.
Okay.
What you are, I absolutely agree. You have a text in the Man in the Mirror M51 about that. It's called The End of Communication and the Start of Connectivity. And the idea is what you are speaking about, what my approach, my idea. Change is the only constant in the universe. The only change.
Yeah.
The only constant. So it's no time that I speak in the first part of in the first chapter of the M51. Time is not absolutely a constant. It's only change. So what I think all the knowledge in the different fields of science and social science and psychology, and why not on philosophy, we are really making approach, because the scientific approach is only for the 20th century, the scientific approach of knowledge. And I love scientific approach of knowledge. I don't know, I don't think it's a good way, but it's not the only one. That we are one. So if you think about the communication scheme structure, is too simple. It's only one channel and the other. And connectivity is more open. It's 360. We are open, more fields of sensitivity, and our radar of we are. It's not only the brain who has neurons. We saw that the Earth has two. We are all connected. We are all one. So when you want to communicate anything, you must be, in my opinion, with an approach of the more files, the more layers you could express, you will reach better. So I agree with you that we are in organic evolution, and knowledge is the same. For me, my fear is losing content, only speak without content. So the difficulty is making different channels of communication, but trying to never lose the deep of the message. So if you're using different channels, maybe you reach without losing content. Because I have in my experience in the university, when I teach children, students in the Master of Strategy here in Spain, I'm a professor there. Yeah, what I saw is every year they think they know all because they look at Google. Yeah, all fail. The last fucking sorry the word, the virus, the coronavirus. This year it was impossible to teach like classical way, but in the year before I failed all the class. All the class C. You are all in C. You don't know nothing. If you think you are only no all the class in the university. Yeah, what's the rector there? For me, it's my class. So if I put an A, I put an A. But if you all see all the class, because they think they know things only looking the information in the net. If you don't do it yours, the information, you don't know nothing. Everyone could find information and an answer, but the process is in making inside you. So for creators, teachers, writers, whatever you want, if you want to communicate anything, today for me the difficult is like you are speaking, making in different files, in different ways to reach the other. So the plan today is not communicate. The plan today is connect. And this is different. And if you want to connect, you must share. If you connect with anything, it's not giving information and receiving. It's sharing the same knowledge, the same one. You must find a place to share. Connect is not communicate. Connect is being connect. And in my opinion, this is evolution.
Can I ask what? Sorry, go on.
No. Yeah, sorry.
I want to ask. I think I've got.
I am
bit of a lag
passionate
here.
Spanish.
I was going to ask what your.
Passionate.
Yes.
Sorry.
Absolutely. I was going to ask what what's your doctorate in, Vincent? I don't think I caught it.
Strategy.
Of what, sorry?
Strategy.
Business. I am MBA.
Yeah,
strategy. Oh, okay.
I study MBA program in Instituto de Empresa. It's the 5th business school ranking in the Financial Times. But I study law, and I lawyer, and I study philosophy, political philosophy too, human resource.
Fascinating.
Super fascinating. Now, I think we keep going. I'm wondering if we might get a little bit of a snippet of the book read, but there was also a question that came in a little while back from Andy, and I wanted to hit it before we get too far away in the chat and I forget. Andy had asked, in doing the translations, did you find pieces of your work that became hard to translate to English, considering the value of language? So I think maybe getting at that, maybe in Spanish, being your mother language, you may be able to express things a little easier. So did you find some kind of maybe just harder parts, a little bit of a struggle to get that same concept said in a way you liked in English?
Yes, of course. Always, because language is like music. It's sound. It's not poetic, the text, but it sounds too, and it's very difficult to have the same word in another language. But that I call one professor, one friend of mine, this professor of English, and he tries to do the best he could the translation. I didn't wrote it in English. I wrote it in Spanish, but one of professionals near me translated.
Oh, that's great to have some help with the translation, because I know that would
Yes,
be
of
very
course.
challenging. But your English, I must say,
No,
your
yeah.
English is very good.
No.
No, it is. Claro que sí.
With 2 cups
Very
of
good.
wine is better.
There you
With
go.
one
Let's
beer,
get this man
with one
some
beer is
wine.
better.
Vino por todos.
Esta es su casa siempre.
Sí.
Guys, there is a thing. I dropped in the chat earlier a notice to everybody who's listening. Have your Ethereum address handy. The reason for that is that we've got a total of 6 different variations of this NFT book. So each book, the Spanish version and the English version, they're both split into 3 parts. So we're going to have a total of 6 unique NFTs that we're going to be able to airdrop it just as soon as I get my act together and get these things minted. My apologies on that. Internet problems are not fun, people. But basically, what I need from you is to go ahead and just dump that ETH address in. The first 6 people to put their ETH address in the chat are gonna get unique NFTs.
Well, hey, I just gotta
Jimmy.
say, if the team is going, then I'm putting mine too. I thought we were excluded.
And 6.
I didn't know.
Six,
I
six,
didn't know
six.
which one. I didn't know whether to do it or not.
666.
I can give mine away.
It's a dangerous number.
Is that cheating? We all heard it at the same time.
Yeah, 666. Welcome to the paradise.
Man, I think maybe if your Wipp team excluded from this because yeah. Like we can't be doing that. You guys all had advanced foreknowledge that this was going to happen. Everybody else found out just now.
It's fun. It's fun to throw.
This is universal.
Up. But yeah, I think we kick ourselves out, and so it looks like we're gonna have elbow. That's one.
Yeah, we got elbow.
Dageki.
Yeah, there you
go. Felons. Oh, hey, felons. We got. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3. Alenke, yeah. Alenke.
And then bully me out. And MZF one. MZ. I don't know why I'm laughing because this person's ID has numbers.
13, 8, 9, 3, 4. So I think that's it. Elbow, Dageki, Felons, Alenke, Bully Meows, and 1394. So those are our 6, I guess. Did I pronounce your name right? Mizif 138934. Well, that's awesome. I love that we get to give away books, and this is like a total first because we've got the English and Spanish versions. I know that we had tossed around some past the pen today, but this has been so intriguing. And we would only have a few more minutes before we go over to Andy too. Maybe we just ride this out. I would love to if
Easy. I have another question, man.
Yeah.
Our friend Dr. Garces here is someone who spent a good deal of time building up to this this conclusion or this insight. The communication and basically connection are 2 things that are fundamentally different things from each other. They're both they're very, very important, but communication involves like in my own work, I would say that there's a manipulative component to communication. And it's fundamentally there. It doesn't matter if you're lying or being dishonest or anything like that. Even if you're telling the truth, if you're trying to convince someone, or if you're even just sharing information, or even just saying hello, you're always doing an action that has a result, metabolically speaking, in someone else's mind. And I think that's such an important thing to sort of keep in mind as we, think about the way that we're going to structure our communications. And furthermore, I would even say that I believe connection probably has more to do with an approach that we as individuals can take to each other that facilitates more of the listening side than the speaking side of that. But man, we've got, you know, at least 10 more minutes to talk about this, and I just would love to hear more of these high quality thoughts about, you know, that specific vein, Dr. Garces, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. The connection, it's not an inspiration. It's only if you see the evolution of the organization models. Is my hard work every day, and they are all downsizing the empower parts of divisions. The structures are going. It's the end of the pyramid, and this is why I love the blockchain world, and I am involved in your project. Because if you see the ethos, what we have around downsizing structures is what it's meaning, because they are fast. They make decisions better, and they can move better with the faster changes of the environment. So being in downsizing structures, it's the empowerment of the nodes of the structure. So in that culture of organization culture, you need to be more connected than than it's the evolution of the communication. And I agree with you in your last words. Sorry, my English, because the only thing you need is a common space. When you connect with something, or you are doing a co-creative project, what you need is to make the same place. We are in common space to share, and being the result of that performance is the strongest way to develop the vision. It's more difficult in the first times, maybe in your project of YIP, or all the communities in NFT world. They are trying to be very participate, and maybe they don't go too fast, but they go stronger, because you are making more and more nodes to your own net. So it's more quick, and being directive, or being in a pyramid and tell rules or tell what you do. But being is maybe more fast in the first time, but you will not live in if you don't work and you don't create with your stakeholders, with your writers, with the publish, with the channel, with the Tokensmart channel, with everyone. Maybe you work not as fast, but the project will be more strong and more robusto. No sé cómo se dice en inglés.
Yes, robust.
Yeah, robust. Yeah. Es perfecto. Yeah. Also, man, I gotta say, like, what you're speaking to here really reminds me of a moment that we've recently had at WIPP. And I would actually argue the group that we've got here is making it very possible to very collaboratively go very, very fast. It's I would say it's likely a rare scenario, but it's a scenario where the ideas get in, and they bounce around the team, and they grow so quickly. It's just the most incredible thing to be a part of. I feel so lucky to be here with my life right now. I know that sounds a little bit lame, but I seriously mean it, guys.
No, this is amazing.
Not at all.
Absolutely amazing.
I think the written word is one of the most powerful things that human beings have ever been able to create, because of the way it kind of stabilizes these flows of thoughts and allows us to record them and communicate them to one another. And I'm awestricken every week when we do this. And I mean, sometimes it's in kind of a goofy way, and we're having fun with Pass the Pin, and sometimes it's in more of a serious way, and we're asking ourselves these difficult questions about what life is, and how to feel about certain things that are taking place in society around us, and what the goals that we want to seek out should be. So you know, all of that is to say that my apologies again for being slow on the minting process, but I cannot wait to put this book out into the world and make it available to everybody who's following this project. I mean, this is just going to be incredible, folks.
By 10, if it's done by maybe 3 hours from now, I could announce it on the Andy show very briefly, just so anyone who wants to come into that show gets a kind of a sort of live announcement through voice about it. But but internet problems are omniscient.
My install window to get the new internet today is from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. our time, so we're 17 minutes into it. I think it might be reasonable to deliver at that point. So we'll get it done by the end of the work day here today, folks. Don't worry.
That's not actually that bad of an internet window. I think I've had windows that are like from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You're like, wait, what? You couldn't narrow it down more than that?
Yeah, it's like, take the day off work, stay home, watch a movie. After that, watch another movie. After that, maybe the guy will come.
Make sure it's on DVD because you can't access Netflix.
Right. That's right.
I think we're gonna have to. We're definitely gonna have to have Vincent come and hang out and talk more with us here, and maybe even we'll get a little snippet read or something, because this has just been so fascinating and touching on so many great important aspects of our modern lives and the depth
absolutely
of
Dr.
these topics.
Says, we have to we would be forever remiss if we didn't invite you to the WIPP Discord server. You can participate in anything you like there, up to and including your own show if you would like at some point. We would be happy to give you like a weekly time frame to come into the Wipp server Discord live voice channel and just present to an audience, speak to them if you feel like it. I do this on Mondays and Fridays myself at 9:30 Central Standard Time in the morning, and it's called Epic Dylan's Crypto Chat. And lately we've just been talking about mostly osmosis, which is the coolest thing in crypto today, if you ask me. But basically I'm doing that as support for my book, which is called Crypto, and it's about cryptocurrency and sort of the first year I did of cryptocurrency trading and how I was able to kind of familiarize myself with those concepts was mostly by writing those essays about it. So I think it sort of jives with the message of the work that I'm promoting by doing that. And we've got a decent sized little audience, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And get more fun as we go forward. So by all means, if that's something you would like to do, I'd love to invite you to do so.
Thank you very much. My idea is contribute to develop your project because I'm a part of it. So what you say, for me, it's a pleasure.
Lovely.
It be the agenda, because I am in the other part of the world, and maybe here is 3 a.m. I must see it. But if I could help in your project, that's my plan. My plan is not making rich. My plan, the money for me, it's other thing. It's not for me. The idea is having fun, learn, and if I could facilitate that process of learning to someone, that's my dream. So that's what I do in my classes and all. So
it's going to be a pleasure to work with you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Maybe for the people who are listening, what I invite is, please read read the MFT book, because Man in the Mirror, because it's very easy to read, and if someone wants to discuss, speak, make a point of view, different point of view. This is my way. I always learn about the students, but I'm not here as a professor. I'm here as a junior writer, so all is welcome. I learn in every topic, so it's a pleasure.
I think
thank you so much.
We're all living the dream together at this point. It's incredible to be making these connections, and really just so glad that we were able to run across you and have you join our both the Tokensmart and the Wippy family. And I know there's going to be a lot of fruits to come for the mind and soul from these relationships. So I know that we have been having just an absolute amazing discussion here. We do only have about 10 minutes left, and we have a few announcements from Andy.
Yes.
So we should probably move on to that segment of the show, but thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias. Me encanta todo que usted está haciendo.
You are welcome y gracias a todos los que nos han oído. Un beso grande desde España.
Un beso.
Big kiss from Spain.
Yes, we all got a Spanish kiss. Yay.
Oh, that's lovely.
Should we wait for Andy to get up here?
Yeah,
I think he's in the audio. Oh, he's unmuted. There he is.
Yeah, I'll just say
I think I hear.
I actually speak English, a southern twang of it, and some might think your English is better than mine.
I mean, I can barely understand you right now. No. You're coming in just a little bit low on the volume, so maybe just close to the mic is all I would say.
Okay, is that better, or does I need to try another way?
That sounds better. Yeah.
That's more southern twang and less authentic frontier gibberish.
Yeah, I want you to know my Spanglish is horrible. You don't want a southern guy trying to speak Espanol. So,
love it.
So, no, I'm looking forward to the show today. As I already said, that we have a great group at WIPP Discord. They offer so much opportunities for writers, creative kind of time with them, like trying to work through different ideas. There's been talk of people editing or actually doing the audiobook for you, or trying to set up an audiobook yourself. And, with them doing this, they're doing most of the proceeds to the actual writers themselves. They're taking a 10% to help the community. But to be able to have that where, old style, as far as going to publishers and them needing this and them needing that and not even possibly marketing you, it's just a pleasure to work with all them. Looking forward to releasing this book here in a couple of hours, the next 20 pages. And working with Jim to go over some of the ideas for how we want to move forward on this project. And I appreciate Dylan talking to me some about some of the ideas he's had running around in his head and he's hearing about, even though he kind of shut up on me last night, wouldn't spill the beans.
Yeah, we Andy'd Andy last night.
We totally
got a
did.
big surprise coming, and
it was so.
And we're not going to say what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, come join us at 4:00 for a time where we can all get together, talk about where this project has started off, how we see things going, and ways that maybe can be improved, or ideas that maybe some of the people have. Even though this is written, there's still like 10 more puzzles left to do. So we got our eyes on the prize. It's going to be 2021 here, 2022.
So that's 4 p.m. 4 p.m. I think CST, Carolina. Just I think it's it's Central Time. 4 p.m.
No, it's
that was
4 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m.
Eastern Time.
Yeah, 4 p.m.
3 p.m.
Eastern.
My British. Okay.
That was my question
okay,
too.
Yeah.
So 1 p.m. Pacific. Wait, is that right? Yeah, you said 4 p.m.
That's
Eastern.
1 p.m. PST. Yeah.
1 p.m. PST.
EST.
Yes. Okay. Yes. We can do small math.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. People.
You got to keep it manageable. But yeah. If you enjoy reading and care about seeking a future where not only authors get paid fairly for all the amazing ideas, creativity, and knowledge they provide, but also a future where readers everywhere will invest in knowledge and reap rewards from their patronage, go ahead and go scope us out over at WIPPublishing on OpenSea and pick yourself up an NFT book today. We'll have 6 new offerings. They'll all be 6 different new tokens. We'll be airdropping the first one of each one to one of our lucky winners from the ETH address dropping competition earlier. So that'll be the first one, and then there's going to be 99 more of each. So go pick those up, folks, and make sure they fly off the shelves real fast. Because each NFT book that we sell actually pays the author more than 90%. The remaining little chunk just goes into helping develop our community and build out these events and do all the other awesome things that we are working together so hard all the time to do. So, I mean, it's just an absolute pleasure to be here. And Dr. Garces, thank you so much for your time and your insight. And Andy, man, I can't wait to see what you got for us here at 4 o'clock Eastern time.
Andy's
little something, something.
Always
little
cooking
something,
up,
something.
always cooking up a little something, something there on the back. You know, something up his sleeve. You know, Andy's got shit going on. So that's about 1.5 hours from now. Make sure you head on over to the Wipp the Wipp Discord. We've dropped the links a couple times. All the links are also in event links, including the POAP. So if you didn't get that, it's a really dope one. Once again, Carolina just crushing the POAP
Oh,
game.
she just does that. That's what Carolina does, baby.
Yep.
She crushes those POAPs.
I think I've got to run to my mailbox. I think I've got a package as well for this. I hope it hasn't got it hasn't got everything that I thought it would be. But you guys, this will make sense to you guys when the time comes. But
totally.
Yeah. So yeah. It's annoying, to be honest, but like me and Andy, I need to call Andy about it just before the show begins, just because it's it's for another time. So yeah, it's I think we're finishing early today, actually, which is
that's incredible. Yeah,
we've
always
I mean, it's really
rush off
remarkable.
the stage. That's how good we are.
This time.
We're just on our game. No, but you know, we love the fact that you guys come and spend time with us here. We'd love to have you spend some time with us over in the Wipp Discord too, where we've got some more, you know, fun and exciting stuff. We didn't get to pass the pen today, but Friday, come on over and join us. You know, if you follow the Twitter, you'll be able to get, you know, kind of get the updates and all the things that are going on. I'll drop that Twitter link one more time here. And yeah, we just love your feedback, your participation. So we're really looking forward to, you know, all these amazing events and slowly kind of adding more to the roster and bringing in more, you know, amazing writers from, you know, all over the world, because that's what we can do with this tech. So, you know, if you've got something that you were, you know, maybe writing back in the day, or you've got a friend that, you know, was, you know, writing, but was frustrated with, you know, the kind of the system, shoot them on over and Wippy.
Yeah, remember, people, you don't have to be a famous author with a best-selling book to be, you know, somebody that we at WIP Publishing want to help. But like the idea is that we are the work in progress publishing company. And no matter who you are or what your writing background is, we want to support your writing interest and your writing talent. And we want to support you as a writer, because supporting writers is what we do here at WIPP. I mean, just straight up, y'all get involved. Come on. We're going to be doing a lot of really fun, awesome stuff coming up in the very near future.
Absolutely. Yeah, very exciting things on the horizon. You guys are going to want to keep your ears peeled, because soon we will be dropping a bunch of really hot news, exciting stuff happening behind the scenes. We're working hard to make this something that's going to be really beneficial for writers and readers and all in between. So it's 1:30 and time to head down one channel to Bully Meow. All right.
See y'all
Peace,
later,
love, and
Meow.
Whipsy.
Hello.